10 Habits for Cultivating a Strong Mind, Buddhist Wisdom. In a world where everything constantly demands our attention, many people feel exhausted, scattered, and empty without fully understanding why. We work more than ever before, absorb more information than ever before, yet rarely feel truly peaceful or whole. Many believe that life is simply too difficult, responsibilities too heavy, or that they themselves are weak or lack discipline. But Buddhism offers a different, gentler, and deeper perspective. Perhaps the problem does not lie in life itself, but in where our mind chooses to dwell. A mind stretched between the past and the future, fragmented by countless stimuli, gradually loses its ability to rest in the present moment. When this happens, no matter how favorable the circumstances may be, unease remains. Conversely, when attention becomes steady, life naturally becomes clearer. Focus, in the Buddhist sense, is not about force or rigid control, but about returning to what is here, what is alive, what truly nourishes inner peace. This writing is a long journey, delving deeply into 10 core habits that cultivate a focused mind, rooted in Buddhist wisdom. These are not productivity tricks designed to help you do more, but practices that help you live more deeply, more consciously, and more freely in a world full of distraction. 1. Becoming aware of where the mind habitually wanders. The first step toward focus is not trying to keep the mind still, but recognizing where it goes. The Buddha once compared the mind to a wild animal, not because it is bad, but because it has never been gently trained with understanding and compassion. When unobserved, the mind automatically runs toward worry, regret, comparison, and endless imagination. Much of human suffering does not come from what is actually happening, but from the unconscious wandering of the mind. One may be sitting in a quiet room, yet inwardly filled with imagined conversations, fears that have never occurred, and memories from long ago. We think we lack focus because we are weak, but in truth, we are simply not yet aware of what is unfolding within. The first habit of a focused mind is mindful observation. Not trying to stop thoughts, not judging them as right or wrong. Simply noticing, thinking, worrying, remembering. This gentle act of naming creates a small distance between us and the stream of thought. That distance is the beginning of freedom. As we begin to recognize familiar mental patterns, such as returning to the past when tired or leaping into the future when anxious, we are no longer completely swept away. Mindfulness does not demand immediate change, it simply invites honesty. In Buddhism, awareness itself is a form of liberation, because once a habit is clearly seen, it no longer has total power over us. 2. Simplifying the outer world to calm the inner mind. The mind and its environment reflect one another. A cluttered, noisy, rushed space often accompanies a tense and scattered mind. This is why Buddhist monastic life emphasizes simplicity, not to reject life, but to hear it more clearly. In modern life, we are surrounded by countless things that demand attention: phone notifications, news, social media, unused possessions, and commitments beyond our capacity. Each one, however small, quietly drains mental energy. Many people do not realize that unfinished tasks and excess belongings continually stretch their mind thin. Simplifying is not about deprivation or austerity. It is an act of protection. Protecting attention. Protecting peace. It begins gently, clearing one drawer, silencing one notification, declining one unnecessary invitation. Each small act creates space, and in that space, focus can breathe. Buddhism calls this right effort, knowing where to place energy wisely. A focused mind is a discerning mind. As the surrounding environment grows quieter, the mind naturally slows down. We begin to notice the breath, the posture of the body, the subtle emotions previously drowned out by noise. A simple life is not an empty life, but a deliberate one. 3. Doing one thing at a time, and doing it fully. The modern world celebrates multitasking, but Buddhism teaches wholeness. When we eat while scrolling, the mind is not truly eating. When we listen while preparing a response, the mind is not truly listening. When we rush through tasks, the mind never truly arrives. The Buddha taught that suffering arises when the mind is divided. Peace appears when attention is unified. The third habit of a focused mind is doing one thing at a time with full presence, not to perform better, but to live more deeply. We can choose an ordinary daily activity, such as washing dishes, walking, or drinking tea, and turn it into a mindfulness practice. Feel the movement. Notice the sensations. Stay with the moment. At first, the mind will resist and try to escape. This is entirely natural. Our task is not to defeat it, but to gently bring it back again and again. Living this way, ordinary moments become meaningful. Life does not necessarily become easier, but it becomes less chaotic, because we are no longer living in constant fragmentation. Focus is not something we force, it emerges when we stop dividing ourselves. 4. Training focus like a muscle, not a weapon. Many approach focus with rigidity, forcing discipline, suppressing thoughts, fighting distraction. Buddhism points out that this approach often backfires. Focus does not grow through tension, but through consistency and kindness. Just as the body strengthens through repeated balanced movement, the mind becomes steady through small daily practices. Sitting quietly for 5 minutes, following the breath, returning whenever distracted. Losing focus is not failure, it is part of training. Each return is an exercise. Perfection tightens the mind. Patience opens it. A focused life is not built through pressure, but through steady presence. The mind does not need to be conquered, but understood. When treated with gentleness, it naturally cooperates. 5. Anchoring the mind each morning before the world rushes in. The first moments after waking are deeply influential. The mind is still soft, not yet armored by habit and pressure. What we place into awareness at this time shapes the entire day. Many people open their eyes and immediately reach for their phones, news, and notifications. Before their feet touch the floor, the mind has already been pulled outward. The day begins in reaction, rather than awareness. The 5th habit is anchoring the mind before engaging with the world. No elaborate rituals are needed. Just a pause. Feel the breath. Sense the body lying in bed. Recognize that you are alive. That quiet moment belongs to you. The Buddha taught that intention shapes karma. The direction of the mind determines the direction of life. A simple phrase, a deep breath, a moment of gratitude can create an inner anchor. When the day becomes noisy, you have a place to return to. 6. Learning to let the mind rest instead of constantly consuming. The modern mind rarely rests. Every gap is filled with screens, sounds, and information. We think we are relaxing, but the mind continues to consume. Fatigue deepens. Buddhism reminds us that attention requires stillness to renew itself. Just as the body needs sleep, the mind needs moments of non-consumption. The 6th habit is creating intentional pauses where we do not watch, listen, or evaluate, but simply exist. At first, emptiness may feel uncomfortable. A mind accustomed to stimulation will search for something to grasp. Yet this discomfort is the doorway to clarity. When attention is allowed to rest, noise softens, thoughts slow, and a natural rhythm emerges. Rest is not laziness. It is wisdom. A rested mind focuses more easily, responds less reactively, and holds greater patience. In emptiness, clarity is born. 7. Protecting attention as a sacred resource. Where attention rests, life unfolds. Yet many people give their attention away unconsciously to conflict, comparison, fear, and noise. Over time, the mind weakens not from incapacity, but from overexposure. Buddhism treats attention as precious. The 7th habit is learning to protect it. Not withdrawing from life, but consciously choosing what enters the mind. Just as we do not open our home to everyone, we need not allow every thought or piece of information to occupy us. This applies to the inner world as well. Not every thought deserves engagement. We can gently ask, is this useful? Is it kind? Is it necessary right now? If not, we let it pass. This is not suppression, but wise discernment. 8. Allowing focus to grow through patience, not urgency. Many give up because results do not appear quickly. But Buddhism teaches that focus develops quietly, like roots growing beneath the soil. Every moment of presence, however small, contributes to lasting stability. Patience means not constantly measuring progress or demanding consistent calm. Some days are peaceful, others are restless. A focused mind does not force uniformity, but meets reality as it is. When urgency is released, attention naturally settles. 9. Directing focus toward what truly matters. A focused mind is not only calm, but oriented. Without direction, energy may be poured into what does not nourish us. Buddhism calls this right intention. Busyness is not meaning. When attention drifts from core values, emptiness appears, even amid activity. The 9th habit is returning to the question, what truly matters to me right now? The answer may change, and that is natural. When focus aligns with values such as peace, connection, and meaning, many distractions fall away. Decisions become clearer. Inner conflict lessens, as mind and values move in the same direction. 10. Always returning to the breath, the home of the present. No matter how much we practice, the mind will wander. This is inevitable. Buddhism does not promise a mind without distraction, but offers a place to return. That place is the breath. The breath is always here, neutral and undemanding. When the mind is restless, return to the breath. When emotions surge, return to the breath. Each return is a reunion with life itself. Practice lies not in the absence of distraction, but in the moment of recognizing and returning. Over time, our relationship with the mind changes. We no longer resent wandering, we trust the return. The breath teaches impermanence, gentleness, and letting go. The quiet power of a focused mind. In a distracted world, the ability to return to the present is a quiet strength. Not the strength of control, but of return. A focused mind does not require a silent world, but a clear inner compass. We do not need to become someone else. We only need to return to ourselves, again and again, with patience and compassion. When we do, focus ceases to be effort and becomes refuge. From that refuge, we can live within the world with clarity, peace, and freedom.
Thank you for watching until the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to watch more interesting videos.